friends and family all over the globe. Mandatory meeting. You know those mandatory meetings that they give all the time, everywhere you work in nursing, especially when you're on staff. And PRN is not exempt from mandatory meeting. Stay tuned. It's all about you. Oh my God, I'm cooking in the kitchen again. I better go before I burn the foods. Not ready yet. Be quiet. I burned Sweetie Bone, my dog. Oh no. Ah, that's what I get for cooking bones in the kitchen. Oh God. What are we talking about again? Mandatory meeting. Oh yeah, that meeting, those meetings, they have them everywhere you go. When they attach mandatory to it, that means you have to go. It's the law. I declare, it's the law. You have to go to these mandatory meetings. I don't know. Every time they say meeting, round up, let's get the nurse together, we're having this mandatory meeting. Sometimes they start, because a lot of nurses wasn't going to the meeting. Now, I'll tell you why. So they start posting it at the time clock. And I'm so oblivious. When I get to the time clock, all I want to do is punch in, put my finger in, and keep on going. I don't have time to read all those messages. So if they say they send it in an email, I don't have email. And you heard it from me. I don't have the office email. I'm only PRN. Positive, responsible nurse. That's what I am. PRN. So, not getting caught up in the politics, but I have to go to those when they attach mandatory to the meeting, because, that has something to do with your pay. Yes, girlfriend, guys, that has something to do with your pay, so you better jump. When they say mandatory, you better go. And it's good if they say mandatory on your day off, because you can go in there and clock in and stick around for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Some people do that, the ones who love to ride the clock. They show up at all the meetings. They'll tell you the gossip. I personally don't like when they do it on my day off, because that's ruining it right there. I got to go to work, sit at this meeting, get a little cupcake if that's what you want. They have cupcakes, they have candy, and they have Snicker bars in those meetings. If that's what you like, go on. Anyway, I digress. So I'm in the middle of work. I got 2 admission. I got 3 discharge, and all of a sudden I heard mandatory meeting for nurses. Sometimes it's for nurses, and sometimes it's staff meeting. Staff meeting, they have everybody. This particular one, it was mandatory, not only for nurses, but staff. So I'm like, okay. When I was new, I embraced it. I'll go to those meetings. I do it every job. When I first started, I go to the meeting. But I've been at this job for 10 years, and then all of a sudden they say, mandatory meeting. Why should I go? I'm in the middle of my work. And then my ADON comes and he said, Patrice, you're always on your phone. Every time I turn around and pass you, you're on the phone. Yes, I am on the phone. My phone he's talking about. And the reason why I'm on my phone, I gotta check the meds, I gotta look up the stuff, and I have to, I have to act like a nurse, don't I? Are you forgetting? I don't know if these people that are the family, they question you to death. And I'm not like you. You may think you know everything in nursing. I don't. I have to look up some things. And these families come and they ask you so much questions. I don't know if it's the color of my skin. I don't know if they think I'm a doctor or what. I know they don't think I'm a doctor. I'm just kidding. But they do ask you questions. You need to know. Be professional. You need to tell them the different side effects for the meds. What is my child taking? Some of the things that they should be asking the doctor, they'll ask you. And what you do as a nurse, as a new nurse, old nurse, whatever, you kind of push them towards, maybe this question is for the doctor. Didn't the doctor tell you the diagnosis? Maybe you need to hear it from him. That's what I do all day long. I'm looking at my phone. Yes, I'm guilty. Sometimes I get texts and I may look at it too. I may stray away. So he's right in a sense. I'm always on the phone. But I'm doing my work, I told him. And I showed him. I was actually looking up some things that I know the family might be questioning me. You got to take tests from these families when they come on board, which is understandable. So he said, you going to the mandatory meeting? I said, I'm coming. What's it about this time? If I know, I would tell you. I know he wasn't going to tell me. Anyway, we celebrating someone. So I'm like, oh, celebrating nurses? I run. Because every time I go to these mandatory meetings, I'm so sad. Because prior to that, let me just bring you up to speed. Every day I go to this job and I walk in the front door. It's the front of the building was a nursing home, 6 floors in Pennsylvania. Most of my work is in Pennsylvania. I just really start working in Georgia, but I see it in Georgia too. So it's easy to compare. So every day I walk in the building, it's beautiful. The first impression that I notice the hospitals or the nursing home put out is giving you the impression this is a beautiful place. And it is sometimes. The reception area is large and the plush chairs and everything. I wish they could bring some of those chairs back to the nurses, but that's not the topic for today. So every time I walk in, the first pictures I see on this wall, they got this wall. Basically, the wall is like that picture you see behind me. And on the wall, you see nurses, on the wall, you see pictures, photo image of the people they chose in the meeting to recognize, to make them feel worthy, to appreciate them, to celebrate them. They do such a good job. And it used to make me so sad. Because what I'm seeing is, and don't get me wrong, I see my dietary staff, I see the housekeeping staff, I see the building manager, I see everybody else but no nurse. I have never seen a nurse. 10 years since I've been working there, and I've never seen a nurse make it on that wall. So I think about all that, and when I walk in the building, if I was a parent, if I was bringing my mother to a facility, I think the facility should put a picture of a nurse in the building and celebrate her. Where do they put it? When they celebrate, which is not when they celebrate you. Nurse Week, we took some pictures And on the in our locker room, we see pictures of ours, of the different nurses that work there. I think celebrating the nurse from the door is a better choice. I'm not nothing against housekeeping, nothing against dietary. Yay, I'm all for celebrating them, but don't you think that just a little kindness, a little appreciation, a little love, a little caring for the nurse, just because they get $50. I don't know how they come up, how they determine who make employee of the month. We go to these mandatory meetings, and that's what they do. They talk about different issues, and then they celebrate the person who they chose. I don't know how management come up with that figure. They get free staffing, and they may get $50. Some place give $100. I'm not saying they think the nurses don't need it. Maybe that's what they say. We don't need it. We make enough money. Really? It's not about that. It's not about that. We would like a little kindness given towards us. We would like to feel appreciated too. So today I want to take this time, not only Nurse Week that we want to see. Let's celebrate nursing. Let's celebrate nurses. We want to be celebrated every day. And here's to you, nurses. You, Y-O-U, my nurse peers. Here's to you. I'm celebrating you. And some days I'm guilty too. I don't want you to think that I'm always a team player. I'm always rah, rah, rah for my nurses. My peers. We fight. There is always issue with, maybe it's we can't get along sometimes. It's a personality clash when you work with all women, and we know what that is about. I don't have to talk about that. But when it comes to the patient, we come together. We leave our differences at the front of the room, and we go in and we work as a team. Mark you, some days I don't feel like a team player. I can't tell you I do. The other day, as a matter of fact, I was overwhelmed. I had to admission, and I had to pick up another patient from my peer because they were in the middle of something that was very serious. Somebody asked me, one of the techs came out and said, oh, this little girl, she's feeling nauseated. And I said, well, go find her nurse. That's the response I gave her, which was not right. My ADON pulled me in the room. Patrice, we don't want to write you up. They love to write you up. But that's what I'm talking. When you pull me in the door, I know I'm in trouble. And then I start saying, oh my God, should I leave this job now? You're not going to fire me. Anyway, I apologized. Yes, in the moment, I was more concerned with my own work that I forgot that I need to not only help my peers, but I need to, do what I have to do. It's a team effort. Of course, to be honest, team effort they want you to do. But are they a team effort when the administrator walk you by and see you overwhelmed? Are they a team player too? Can they get a light when the light goes off in the room? But you didn't hear it from me. So here's to you, nurses. Celebrate yourself. Don't worry about not making it employee of the month. We recognize each other. I recognize you because I know we work hard. We work hard, and sometimes to the point that we forgot ourselves. And we should never work so hard that we forget and neglect ourselves. Staff recognition, doesn't mean that you're a good person. We give it all. Remember that. You don't need reward to make you feel good. You feel good and satisfied when you make a difference in your patient life. Just think about that. So when you hear the word mandatory meeting, not today. That's what I said. What do you say? If you like this video, comment, share. Just give me a like. I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.